Today, I want to speak about something that has been living very strongly in my heart lately, and that is the medicine of thresholds and rites of passage. One of the things I notice again and again in our modern world is that we seem to have forgotten something very simple about being human. We are cyclical beings. Life itself is cyclical. Day always becomes night. Summer becomes autumn. The moon disappears and returns again. Nothing in nature stays the same forever. This is something I think about often because in many ways the world we live in today does not prepare us for change. We move from one stage of life to another very quickly. You're born, you're a child, you become a teenager, then suddenly you're an adult with responsibilities. But very few of these transitions are consciously marked. We don't pause to acknowledge that something profound is happening in the psyche, in the body, and in the spirit when a person crosses from one stage of life into another. And so many of us move through enormous inner changes without support, without witnessing, without ritual. You can see this in the way human life unfolds. Many traditions speaks about life moving in cycles of 7 years. The early years of life are about building safety and belonging in the body. Then comes the flowering of creativity. Then the emergence of independence and will. Then the opening of the heart and our capacity to love. Each of these stages is a threshold. But if nobody names it, if nobody witnesses it, we simply move through these stages unconsciously. And this is where indigenous traditions hold profound wisdom for me. Across so many cultures, moments of transition were never ignored. They were honored. There was time, for honoring. There were rituals for a young girl coming into her voice. There were ceremonies for young men learning responsibility and humility. There were practices for crossing into motherhood, into elderhood, into leadership. These rites of passages helped the psyche integrate change. They allowed a person to understand something in me is shifting and my community sees it. I believe this is one of the missing links in the world today. So many people are experiencing deep transformation, but they do not have the language or ritual to hold it. They feel the shift in the body. They feel the threshold they're crossing, but the world around them continues moving as if nothing significant is happening. So the question becomes, what would it mean for us to remember that we are cyclical beings? What would it mean to begin honoring these thresholds of our lives? Not necessarily in elaborate ceremonies, but in simple acts of acknowledgement, pausing, listening to the body, marking a moment of change, allowing the land, the water, the skies to witness the transformation that is happening within us. And perhaps this is part of the remembering that is happening in our lifetime. The remembering that human life is not meant to move in a straight line. It moves in cycles. It moves in seasons. And every threshold we cross is an invitation to meet ourselves again.